Hello everyone, and welcome back to another What If! Now, the duel between Joey and Yami Marik is one of my favorite duels in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, only surpassed by the Battle City match with Yugi and Kaiba, and Yugi vs. Joey in Duelist Kingdom. It's easily one of Joey's strongest moments in the series, getting an immense amount of pain inflicted on him by Ra, but still standing, albeit for a few moments before falling into a coma, as a direct fuck you to Ra and its owner, Yami Marik. So to reward such a great moment for Joey's character, let's completely ruin it by having him beat Marik instead. Haha, wait a minute. In all seriousness though, I was really curious to see what would happen if this scenario had occurred in the series, and that's basically why I'm doing this video. Now, like my previous what ifs, this video is not me saying I could do a better job, nor am I saying this is superior to the original. This is all meant to be in good fun, and I know this what if is not going to be perfect. So if you have any issues with this or disagree with the outcome, absolutely feel free to let me know in the comments. Alright, so let's get into it. Joey is still standing after taking in all that pain from Ra's attack. Everyone is surprised, his friends are cheering him on to take down Marik. He summons Gearfried and is about to fall unconscious like in the original, but his adrenaline kicks in, allowing him to stay standing for just a few more seconds, and issues the attack that defeats Marik and ends the Shadow Game. Now, already, we have an issue. With Yami Marik losing the Shadow Game, what happens to his body and the two versions of Marik? Well, it's tricky. Technically, the Shadow Game wasn't like the battle with Yami Yugi, where the other half of them was erased if they lost, so Yami Marik would die because he lost all his life points, but his body would very likely stay, since the purpose of that Shadow Game was to inflict real pain if a monster was destroyed and or life points were lost. But what about the other half of Marik? I honestly have no clue, in all honesty. This didn't really happen before in the series, with the exception of Yami Bakura, and even that one was explained away by having a clone of Bakura's Yami form in the Millennium Puzzle, which is a whole other can of worms, but whatever. So at the risk of giving myself a headache, too late, let's just say that part of Marik would eventually reawaken. Oh, and speaking of waking up, yeah, Joey would, still fall unconscious after the duel, because he was still severely injured by Ra's attack after all, but he would still wake up around the same time as in canon, maybe a few more minutes after though. But this time, Mai and Bakura would also be near him, with Shizu giving Joey Ra, since the first two would now be freed from Yami Marik's Shadow Games. Also, something Kaiba acknowledges him as a real duelist like in canon. Anyways, on to the finals of Joey and Yugi. So, with Ra and Joey's deck, does he screw the pooch and lose comedically to Yugi since he can't read hieroglyphs? Kind of. See, I'd like to think nearly dying twice in the Battle City arc had left some kind of effect on Joey, and hey, maybe after regaining consciousness, he starts to realize that maybe he should start to take things a bit more seriously, since, again, nearly died twice in this arc. I'd like to think that would leave an impact on somebody. Now, obviously he wouldn't undertake a drastic character change to the point of being a different character, but he would start to grow up a bit, and this duel could be a good starting point for this, as he does butcher the text of Ra, and as a result, instead of summoning a ball form, he summons a chick form of Ra. Also, yes, this artist will be credited in the description. However, despite this mess-up, Joey manages to fix his mistake by remembering his battle with Yugi back in the day. So while the others are shaking their head or annoyed at Joey's stupidity, Joey brings out Time Wizard and says that he's learned from their last duel, activating Time Wizard's effect and successfully activating it. The others, save for Yugi and Kaiba, are confused by this, but then Marik comes in, with Odion and Shizu helping him walk due to him, slowly regaining control of his body, and he explains. Which is a nice way of me saying, I didn't want to do a Kaiba voice, so instead I'm going to butcher someone else's character voice.
That version of Ra is its baby form. I don't get how Joey butchered it that bad, but it's clear that by using Time Wizard, he's rapidly aging it to get to its actual form.
And so, with the power of anime bullshit, Ra's chick form becomes the true Winged Dragon of Ra, with the combined life points of the mons Joey sacrificed earlier finally kicking in. While Yugi's monsters on the field, save for Osiris, fade into dust by the sands of time. So yeah, they fight for a bit, Joey gets the upper hand for a bit, and then Yugi does. It's basically a true battle of equals here, showing how far Joey has come since the start of Battle City, but eventually, a winner does need to be decided, and like Marik's fate, this is a tricky one. In the manga and anime, we see Joey and Yugi about to face off at the end of the Battle City arc, but we never see the outcome outside of Joey getting Red Eyes back. We don't know if he got that by winning, or drawing, or even giving him it out of pity. And since that duel took place not too long after Battle City ended, I could honestly see it going either way when it comes to Joey winning or losing this final duel. For now though, I'm gonna say that Yugi wins in a very, very close duel and manages to get Raw. However, Joey does get his red eyes back, since now both agree that Joey has improved as a duelist. A statement that Kaiba also surprisingly agrees with, and tells him that maybe one day he will actually be a threat to him and Yugi. But instead of getting angry or making a snide remark, Joey takes it on the chin and says that he's going to keep improving as a duelist so that one day he can beat both of them with his skill and his luck. So after Battle City, what happens next? Well, not much of note, since Joey doesn't really do much, not even in the final arc. Though I guess for the Grand Championship he could decide not to compete since he wants to rebuild his deck a bit for his next duel with Yami/Yugi. It does save him getting humiliated stupidly by that fucking guy from the arc. I can't remember his name. I guess that just tells you what I think of that guy as a villain, because I can't even remember his name. Anyways, speaking of which, the two could have another duel before Yugi/Yami/Ten, whatever you want to go with, goes back in time. This time, Joey would win. Also, during this duel, maybe it's possible that in the time between the end of Battle City and the final arc, he started studying Egyptian hieroglyphics, and maybe he could read Ra's text now fully, kinda showing some development from his initial mistake of summoning Ra's chick form, and hey, maybe that's how he wins the duel, uses Ra, and summons it correctly? Who knows? But yeah, after this, the rest of the story would play out roughly the same, and Atem would then return to the afterlife. And that would be the end of the story, but then Dark Side of Dimensions came out. You know what? Fuck it. Nothing changes there. That movie is utter dog shit, and the less I can talk about it, the better. Fuck that movie. That's all I got for this one. Yeah, not a whole lot would change if Yami Marik lost to Joey, but still, it was interesting for me to write up this scenario. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and until we meet again, I'm David Grimm, and thank you for watching.